She slid a door open and walked inside. I realized there was no way back, and I had to follow her. Deep inside, I already knew what I'd find there. I just want to pull this knowledge in the form of a complete thought. A person's self-deception peaks when they learn to ignore the things quite literally right in front of them. If you exclude all that is impossible, what remains is true. I understood how dangerous it was to look for correlation everywhere, and used to substitute cause and effect. The rise in the average temperature of September might coincide with the rise in the central bank's key interest rate. That doesn't mean global warming will cause inflation to fall. Kagome sneaks out of the house at night while everyone is asleep and goes to the outskirts of the city to sneak into some warehouse. Maybe this did impact the inflation rate, but... God damn it. God damn it. Inside the warehouse, I found Ellie tied up with Iwamura standing over her. So it was you, after all. Ellie raised her head and blindly stared into the darkness. Nick, is that you? And then in a louder voice, Nick, help! I came closer and froze, feeling unable to approach Kagome. That girl was looking at me and... grinning. Welcome, Nika-san. I'd have to be blind not to notice you tailing me. So you knew. I exhaled. Of course. It'd be stupid to live with you in the same house and hope you wouldn't notice me disappearing at night. And we better sort this out now, on my terms. Nick, don't listen to her. She's crazy. Untie me. I took a step forward and stopped. Kagome was hovering over Ellie like Cerberus, refusing to let her return to the world of the living. Nick, hurry. What's the matter, Nika-san? Won't you save your princess? I guess any normal person in my shoes would have rushed to Ellie, pushed Kagome away, rescued the heir to Kobayashi Corporation, and received a well-deserved reward. Except that the person in my shoes turned out to be me, and I had no one to ask for help. Why did you do it? I asked the kidnapper. Why, Nika-san? Do you really not understand? She frowned. How else can I make them release my father? Even if they would, do you think you'll just get away with it? I don't think I have much of a choice. Nick, please. I heard the notes of desperation in Ellie's voice. I realized I had to make a decision. The sooner the better. But Nika-san, please understand that if you let her go now, we're both doomed. Kagome said impassively. Nick, I promise I won't tell a soul about you. What about her? I blurted out. That bitch has to be punished. You see, Nika-san? And you take her word for it? At that moment, I was more concerned about Kagome than my own safety. Yes, her actions were hard to justify, but I didn't even want to imagine what I'd do if I were in her shoes. God damn it. At the same time, she couldn't expect a fair trial. Kobayashi Jun would most likely just hand Iwamura over to the police. Besides, she was most likely correct. Ellie wouldn't keep her mouth shut. And why would I believe her at all? Right now, she'd say anything to have me free her, but she could easily change her opinion once she was safe. Someone in a situation as extreme as this wasn't going to think too deeply about what they saw. I was with Kagome, her kidnapper, so I was guilty too. Nick, please. Ellie pleaded. I can't stop you, even if I wanted to. Kagome showed me her empty hands. Saying someone else's fate was the role I was least suited for. I was angry at Kagome for dragging me into this situation, one way or another. I was angry at myself for not being more cautious. Even at Ellie for the same thing as me. Deep inside, there was a cowardly wish to run away. Let Kagome deal with their problems herself without involving me. Well, Nika-san? Nick, please? But I was there, and I had to make a choice. Are you fucking kidding me? Of course I'm not going along with this crazy bullshit. I'm still gonna make a save, though. Aha, bet your ass I'm gonna save, though. But hey, yo, you kidnapped a woman. And me and Ellie, we rockin' tight, alright? In the settings, don't they have a thing for hints, right? I think I'm gonna need that when I run through it later. Yeah, show hints. Yeah, because clearly I'm not getting the good ending out of Kagome here. Clearly that's not happening. Clearly. Alright. But I'm gonna need those hints that show me what the good ending is. Cause I thought I was doing my best job. I thought I was doing pretty well myself, honestly. And maybe this is just a predetermined event that happens regardless. I don't know, but... Listen, I was going down Kagome's route. I was. That was the plan. I'm not gonna fucking leave Ellie tied up in a warehouse. I'm not doing that. My heart bled for Ellie. I had to stop this madness. With an effort, I walked to Ellie and untied her. Kagome sighed in disappointment and took a step back. I helped Ellie stand up. There was gratitude in her eyes, but at the same time, stubbornness and determination. I've got to... She was mumbling as if she'd just woken up. I let her go, and the girl bumping into crates and shelves fumbled towards the exit. Wait. I said rather for the sake of formality than really trying to stop her. Well, are you satisfied? Kagome wrapped her arms around herself and looked like someone who had just been informed that the stock markets across the world had crashed. You must be out of your mind. I couldn't do anything other than this, no matter what. You should have known when you let me follow you. You're just trying to find someone to blame. Me? My cry bounced back to me with a muffled echo under the ceiling of the warehouse. Was it me who kidnapped Ellie? Did I bring you here and force you to make a choice? If you decide to commit a crime, at least keep other people out of it. And all that matters to you is that you keep your hands clean. What matters most to me is to stay alive. Then you shouldn't have let her go. I was already starting to realize that Kagome was right, in a way. Even if by some miracle Ellie would keep quiet about seeing me here, it's my place they would come to for Iwamura. I didn't know whether I'd really be handed her if I really handed her a death sentence, but I'd harbored no doubt that our life would never be the same. You should probably leave my place. She pursed her lips and frowned. I'm not kicking you out, but you must realize that after this... Why, Nico-san? Finish it. Hand me over to Kobayashi Corporation. You might even receive a bounty. Oh, come on. I waved my hand and on reflex took several steps toward the exit. It suddenly felt unbearable to be there next to her, as if I really was to blame for something. Shame was driving me away from that damn warehouse, buried in darkness and forgotten. It seemed that if I stayed here even a minute longer, I'd vanish into that sinister blackness, where only the creatures of dark lived, alien to everything human. I leapt out into the street, breathless and desperately gasping for the cool night air. Ellie was nowhere to be seen. Could she find the road herself without getting lost in this industrial relay? Anyway, it was no longer my problem. Least of all in the world I liked regretting anything. But at this moment, I wished I could change my decision. No, not to leave Ellie tied up, but maybe at least pause and think about it. The modern world demands instant decisions and action. At the same time, it doesn't tolerate mistakes and has no pity for those who make them. Sometimes the best strategy is to take no action at all. If both options lead to great or evil, is it right to look for the most acceptable among them? Don't resist evil with violence, came to my mind, something I read in a book. Of course, by letting Ellie go, I'd committed no direct violence, but left the room for others to do in the future. Kagome left the warehouse after a short while and stopped next to me. What are you planning to do next? What am I supposed to do? I'm innocent. I snapped at her, despite my internal agony. I need to justify myself to make myself right at any cost turned out to be stronger. You don't get to judge that now, Nico-san. What are you going to do? To be honest, I wasn't prepared for this to happen. She suddenly smiled. What do you mean? I thought you properly assessed the situation, not play the knight in shining armor. Couldn't help but think that Kagome sounded sensible and did not at all resemble a maniac. Yet kidnapping Ellie couldn't be called a sensible action of a normal person. Then who were you playing? James Bond or Professor Moriarty? Nico-san, do you have any money? She abruptly changed the subject. No, I forgot my wallet at home. Why? The trains aren't running anymore. I'll have to call a taxi. Kagome responded innocently. The situation seemed laughably stupid. I had to be showing my indignation, scolding Kagome, cutting all ties with her. At the same time, I had to accept her help to get back home. I had to go home with her because it was her home too, at least temporarily. I suddenly and sharply understood all the difficulties of life in a communal apartment. I'm forced to agree. However disgusted I felt, I didn't want to stay outside in the cold until the trains would start running again. How about Ellie? But considering how vast the industrial district was, I had no chance to find her even if I tried. I only had to hope that she'd find her way out. Or not. but that thought was making me sick, as if I took a bitter pill. It's also wrong that I don't have the words to describe it. I'm not making you. You could walk. Night seems beautiful to me. Let's go already. I sighed heavily and started walking away from the crime scene. Nico-san? Kagome called out to me carefully. What now? Not that way. We sat in the taxi without saying a word, not looking at each other. I could physically feel that our relationship changed, just like weather before summer rain, suddenly and swiftly. And the pressure of the unknown that lay ahead was getting stronger and stronger. No shit. We left the car near my house. I waited for Kagome to pay the driver, not feeling at all happy to be home again. I guess because I didn't feel safe anywhere, and especially here. Do you think Ellie found her way back? You don't have to doubt that. Why are you so sure? Because you're the one who'll need protection soon, not her. She flung off, walked up to the porch, and stopped at the door. Will you open it, or do I have to get back the same way as before? I forgot my keys, too. Did you also forget your brain? We had to use the back entrance again. When we finally found ourselves inside the house, I asked Kagome, "How did you even find out about the hole in the fence?" "I was looking for escape routes." Sensible. Although Kagome hardly needed my approval. "If you don't mind, I'll go to bed." She yawned and quickly wiped the tears that had swelled in the corners of her eyes. Wait. Is there anything else, Nico-san? Well, yes, actually. After all that happened, are you planning to just go to bed? Do you have any other suggestions? We should at least talk things through. Talk what through, Nico-san? You apparently have already come to your conclusions. I am a dangerous criminal, possibly a mentally unstable one, and I belong in a prison or a madhouse. But if you aren't going to send me there immediately, I'd prefer to have a good night's sleep first. How can you just... I desperately wanted to say something, to explain that I didn't agree with what she was doing. But it was all pointless. We either accept someone for who they are, or fail in our endless attempts to change them, to fit our image of what's right. And that feeling of primal misunderstanding, looking into the eyes of another person and seeing genuine confusion in them. And everything is so simple. Here, look, I'm explaining it to you. What's so difficult? Do it this way, not the other way. Then you get the same cold stare in response, with a mixture of pity and contempt. Nico-san, you told me you couldn't do anything other than what you did. Neither could I. But I'm at least worried about what happens next. I shouted, completely losing control over my emotions. I'm worried too, but I understand I have no control over it anymore. She responded calmly. We did what we did. You would have liked me not to kidnap Kobayashi, and I would have liked you not to release her. In a world where everyone desires something different, someone is bound to suffer. Doesn't look like you're suffering. I smirked, trying to hurt her, but Kagome remained motionless. Fine. If you're talking about me, I didn't do anything. But suddenly I felt cold and unbearably tired. I'm not the one to judge you, although I admit I wasn't happy about your decision. You aren't, but who is? She only shrugged in response. I don't feel like you're trying to sign me up for your crusade. Nico-san, don't take this the wrong way, but I don't think it's me you should be worried about right now. What do you mean? I don't think I'm in any danger. Is that so? I laughed stupidly, but Kagome apparently was serious. Good night, Nico-san. She finished the conversation and walked to her room. I no longer felt safe in my own house. Moreover, it seemed that even the walls had become unfamiliar to me once Kagome had started living there. And it wasn't even about Ellie's kidnapping. What scared me wasn't that Kagome was capable of cruelty, perhaps even murder. I didn't think about it. Cold, grim resolve and iron will. That's what really was making me tremble. She wasn't afraid of the devil, God, or Kobayashi Jin. Even now, in the face of imminent danger, Kagome remained confident and dignified. That evoked respect bordering on fear. There I was, feeling like an observer of my own life, and there she was, confidently holding the reins of her destiny. Yeah, I found it hard to agree with her methods, but strong people always attract others, even if they don't always act in accordance with conventional morality. With these thoughts, I went to bed. My exhaustion was making itself known, even though just half an hour ago it seemed I wouldn't be able to sleep until morning. Fucking Christ, dude. God damn it. Fuck. Like, I know this can only lead towards a bad end, but like, I couldn't have picked anything different. By my own standards, I couldn't have picked anything different. I could not have picked anything different. By just my own brain saying, nope, this is what you picked, doo-doo face. And I picked it. And that's it. But yes, with that, I'm going to end this recording session here. God, can you imagine if I had ended it where I planned on, and that was the first thing I fucking came back to? God damn. I don't even know. That's what I get for blindly putting faith in Kagome. That's what I get. That's my punishment. For just being like, oh, cute girl. Yo, she fits one of the tropes I really like. That's on me. That's all on me. I'm just like, cute girl. No, she couldn't have done it. They're just trying to frame her, make it look like she did it. Nope, she did it. She did it. Like I said before, this ain't the first time Soviet Games has done this. They've done it before. They said, oh, hey, look, we got this, cute, quiet girl, kind of keeps to herself, doesn't really interact with others. Also, she's a crazy bitch. And honestly, it's not even the same either, because I don't think Kagome is truly a crazy bitch. She was just in an extreme situation and pushed to do what she thinks was right. As you could tell, I strongly disagree with that. Like, okay, they kidnapped your dad, you kidnapped his granddaughter. I see how you think, it balances out, but like, you don't beat your enemies when you stoop to their level, you just become them. I don't know what happens next, but I can already tell I'm not getting a good ending. I think from what I read, there's 3 different endings. There's a neutral ending and then a bad and a good ending for every love interest. So I can already tell you I didn't get the Kagome's good ending, alright? There's no way this relationship works out well after I let Ellie go. Not a chance in hell, right? But, yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I'm ending this recording session here. It's either going to be a jump cut or a new video, but regardless, I'll see y'all in the next one. Till then, peace. What is up, everyone, and welcome back to even more Love, Money, Rock and Roll. Boy, howdy, a lot went down in the last recording session. Things definitely heated up once Kagome's restaurant burned to the ground. That was interesting. That was a very big development. And it led to Kagome, moving in with Nikolai, which, at first seemed like a very good thing. We're like, yes, I like that. And then there was another very large development with Ellie getting kidnapped. And then her friends being framed for the act. And then, right as I was about to wrap up last recording session, they got me. They pulled me in with a little sentence that caught my attention. So I'm like, okay, let's see the scene through to the end. And we discovered that Kagome was the one who kidnapped Ellie, which fucking totally threw a wrench in my plans. I wasn't expecting that. And I know I chose to free Ellie, which probably fucked up the whole route. I'm sure I'm gonna have to, go through this again if I want the good ending, because I'm sure I'm not getting a good ending out of this. Oh, I am fucking positive. If I manage to pull a good ending out of this, it'll be a goddamn miracle. But yeah, that's where we're picking up. They got home that night after freeing Ellie. Kagome and Nikolai return home, and then this is him dreaming that night before waking up the next day. We don't know what the next day has in store for us. I don't know what's gonna happen next. We're gonna see, but yeah, no. Everything has quickly, very, very quickly gone downhill. So without further ado, let's just jump back into it, shall we? I was drowning in my dream, desperately wheeling my arms, only sinking deeper under the water. I couldn't breathe, the asphyxiation growing so bad that my lungs were about to turn themselves inside out in search of oxygen. Then I heard a voice from somewhere. Get up. There's a rough and strangely familiar voice. Hey, Kagamaru. Hey, my G, my dude, my homie. Listen, I freed her. Ellie, you were supposed to put in a good word for me, goddammit. I opened my eyes and Kagamaru's enormous face occupied my entire field of vision. Don't even think about screaming. He growled, grabbed me by the shoulders, and lifted me as easily as if I were a bag of rice. What? I didn't have the time to be scared or even understand what's happening. He's just like, oh, I'm being carried. Thanks, Kagamaru. Wow, you're so big and strong. Like you don't know, son of a bitch. Get up. We're going for a ride. He grabbed the trousers hanging on a wall hook and threw them at me. Ellie. The memories of yesterday began to creep in like flashbacks. It wasn't me. I wanted to send him to the next room to Kagome, but the words stuck in my throat. I don't like you from the start. Why did Kobayashi Dono spend so much time on you? I was desperately looking at the garden door. If I managed to run past him, I could. But Kagamaru pulled his jacket aside, showing me a holster with a pistol in it. Watching American movies, I'd never understood why people would go to their death willfully and obediently. Maybe at times the plot could justify it, but it always seemed to me that all you had to do was pull the gun out of the villain's hand, jump off the train, kick the guard, and you'd be saved. But now, looking at the pistol, I could feel my whole body paralyzed with fear. My legs froze, and I couldn't move an inch. Hurry up! I'm not going to spend the whole morning on you. Then I realized that the sun had risen in the east, coloring the morning Tokyo mist a soft shade of pink. If I refused to go anywhere, would you shoot me right here? It wasn't me trying to be brave. I was just attempting to buy some time, hoping for God knows what. You can go in your underwear. Makes no difference to me. I blurted out with disgust. I begrudgingly stood up and got dressed, trying not to think about anything. We walked to the kitchen. I looked at the door to Kagome's room with hope, but it was closed. Just me? Yes. What about... Enough talking! Kagome painfully shoved my back. That short yet sturdy man was hiding the strength of a bear. God damn it. But in the hall, I still stopped and turned to him. Listen, but I didn't do anything. I didn't touch Ellie at all. The funniest thing was, I was telling the truth. Ojo-sama thinks differently. God damn it, Ellie. I fucking helped you out, and this is how you repay me? It's because Ellie is always fucking over-exaggerating shit. Like, it was like, oh, they accused me of burying a body in the woods. Fucking Ellie. Like, I still stand by it was the right thing to do. Like, I still, like... I'm not regretting my decision to free her. I don't think, like, we should have held a hostage. I don't think that was the right move. What the fuck do I know, right? Apparently that was the right move, but... I still... It's just like, what the fuck, Ellie? What have I done to you? Did she say so herself? Enough wasting time! Kagome turned out to be right, but what of it? I remembered her words about being in no danger. What if Kagome and her grandfather had already been taken away? What about the girl living with me? I asked in a trembling voice, persuading myself that I did out of care for her. Kagamaru didn't respond immediately. For the first time, I saw the signs of a thought process on his rigid face. Don't know anything about any girl. So you're telling me Ellie just threw me under the fucking bus like that? He was clearly lying, but why? Oh, okay. Even if Ellie eventually accused me of being an accomplice, she couldn't have kept quiet about the fact that Kagome had been the one to kidnap her, could she? Or maybe they just sent another goon for her? Can you at least warn her? No! Just keep walking. I didn't move an inch. You're going to bring me to Kobayashi-sama, aren't you? Yes. He smirked maliciously. It's up to you whether you come voluntarily in the back seat or unconscious in the trunk. Guess I'll choose the first option. The streets were absolutely empty, which made the waves of fear wash over me with even greater strength. If Kobayashi-jun just wanted to talk before, why would he do it at such an early hour? Soon I realized that we weren't going to the corporation's headquarters. Where are you taking me? Where I need to, Kagamaru replied rudely. And nobody would even remember me. Maybe only Himitsu, but I had done everything I could to ruin my relationship with her. Maybe in a few months the police or government employees would come over to my house to find out why I wasn't paying my bills anymore. Or my body would be washed on a shore 100 kilometers away from Tokyo. Or I'd be found hung in Aokigahara, which I guess would be even worse. Oh, that's the suicide forest, isn't it? And even Himitsu. Would she be mourning for long? Catherine, Kyosuke, Michael, Ellie, Kagome. Seemed like they'd forget about my existence the very next day. No, I don't want to be a cow led for the slaughter. Tried to open the door at the traffic light, but it turned out to be locked. Kagome noticed that, turned back and hissed. I told you! His words were followed by a blow of a wrench to my forehead. Man seriously tried to just open the door as if the motherfucker wouldn't lock it. I came to my senses in complete darkness, unable to move. My arms and legs were up against something. It seemed like I was in a tiny cell or a terrible guess made my entire body tremble. I had been buried alive. The walls did seem to be wooden, and the muffled blows of my hand against them responded with the sound of shifting soil. I shouted as hard as I could, but soon ran out of energy. There probably wasn't a single soul for many kilometers around. No fucking shit! Where had my life gone wrong? Did everything right, rescued Ellie, and this is how she paid me back? Of course, it may not even be her fault. That didn't make my situation any easier. Humans are made in a way where they always try to look for connections and figure out why things happen. It doesn't matter to an ant what crushed it, a human's boot or a fallen meteorite. Similarly, I just wanted to get out of here, and on my way to freedom through the soil, and forever forget about Ellie, Kagome, and this damn country with its norms and values. To hang a bag on my shoulder and walk to the Japanese Sea and then swim across it. To take a ride on the BAM, bow before the might of the endless seas of forest and swim in the Baikal to wash off all the dirt that had built up over a decade in Japan. None of that was going to happen, just because I had wanted to follow my conscience for once. I had no time to prepare for death, if you can ever be prepared. I didn't want to die. I desperately feared that my conscious self would stop existing. Even if there was something after, it wouldn't be me. I wanted to continue existing as Nikolai Anakin, nothing else. Without any philosophical nonsense, I just wanted to go to bed in the night, wake up in the morning, feeling alive. Enjoy delicious food and the warm spring sun. Love someone, even if without reciprocation, and feel the flow of time with every cell of my body. I wanted to learn something new, receive and share emotions, enjoy meeting other people, genuinely and without any second thoughts. I promised myself that if a miracle happened and I got out of this grave, I'd start a whole new life. Then I was immediately beginning to curse everyone and everything. My fingernails tore off. I had long splinters piercing my skin. Blood ran down my hands, onto my face. The outside world shrunk to the size of the casket, 2 meters by 1 and change. I was desperately trying to comprehend emptiness, the state the universe had been in before the Big Bang. Soon enough, that emptiness would swallow everything around us. And if I wouldn't think and comprehend, the remaining billions of years would pass for me like a second. And there would be nothing and nowhere. Until the next Big Bang. I was completely exhausted, gasping for stuffy, rotten air, my lungs rattling. It was probably for the better that nobody would find out that my existence ended so pathetically. I'd rather have them think that I ran away and was still alive, somewhere, elsewhere. Hope dies last. I had no hope left. Holy shit. Yeah, roll credits. Oh my god. Wow. Alright. Wow. 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 Okay. Oh, settings. Oh, game. Show me some hints if you don't mind. So I fucked that up royally, which I figured letting her go would fuck it up. But I don't know. It didn't sit right with me taking a hostage. Call me weak, I don't care. Alright. Load game. From the top. This was the very first choice in the series. Okay, and it says it'll show hints. I have show hints enabled. Which means Daddy should get hints. I guess we'll see. But the main reason why I'm still keeping this in right now is one thing I do want to show off. Okay, I'll hit intervene. Oh. That's how their hint system works. That's cool. I like their skip system. Because watch this. It's this little fast forward thing. I love this. This is so fucking cool. I was doing this earlier because I wanted to find some certain screenshots that I was posting online. And yeah, no. The music still plays, but it's like, yo, sped up, and it's like it would sound the same like this. I love this. I really do. I think this is awesome. Okay, but yeah, I am going to pause here until we get to some new stuff.